Welcome to Crayfish Entertainment. I'm Chris.
I'm Bree.
And I know what you're thinking. Oh, God, he's doing another one of those videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a rough week of the painting.
The week's irrelevant, honestly. We've got a couple things going on. One, we do have a vacation coming up a little later this month, and we're prepping videos for that. Two, after we did the Ranger list video with moderate success by at least the metrics that we go by on this podunky little channel.
Hey, Bodun.
With our moderate level of success there, wanted to get to the Forces of Evil stuff as fast as possible. Now, this list is not as complete. There's still a lot of gaps in this one. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Because Chris doesn't love me and he doesn't want me to have nice things.
Sure, that's exactly what it is. I was actually going to say it's because right now what's filled out is what's painted. And there's a couple of things filled out that aren't painted because we were just kind of on a roll when we were making some lists. But what I am getting excited about, and I've wanted to do this for, I mention this every so often for the last year or so, I want to be able to do more battle reports on the channel because battle reports are awesome, and I want to bring more Power Rangers into wargaming because I mentioned way back at the beginning of my channel, wargaming is kind of my jam, and this Heroes of the Grid game released by Renegade that we all play and love has become a great family jam throughout the house, and I want to put them together. And you know, it's not a huge number of people who are saying that they're stoked about it, but there are some people who are saying they're excited to kind of see what comes next with this project. And I really want to get that full size game into play so people can see what it's all about. So we're going to take today to talk about the Forces of Evil work in progress list. I will make a link available to this list in the description, so you can go ahead and check it out. Make comments on it. There's a lot to be done on this list, I think, to make it complete. But really, I think we need to start playing with it to make it complete.
Yeah.
Now, this shouldn't be as brutal as the Power Rangers video because we don't have to explain quite as much about one-page rules and some of the way certain things work. We'll reference them as we go. But if you didn't watch our first video, check out the revised Power Ranger list for one-page rules. It'll give you a little more context on this one because we're going to be getting a battle report up relatively soon here. So here it is. This is the Forces of Evil list. Pretty much everything on here is already painted. There are a couple things that are not. We'll talk about that. So we're not going to go through every single being because some of them aren't done. So we're going to skip over the ones who are actually not fully painted. So Astronema, Dane don't even have rules yet because they're not painted. Bri, I'll let you handle the first one here because that's your gal.
That is my girl. And I haven't gotten to play Diva Talks yet.
You have not. You have not.
Not gotten to play Diva Talks yet. But that is Diva Talks. She is a 3/3, which is nice.
Which is quality defense. And
yep, quality defense.
Defense shrugs off damage. Quality, you hit that number above and you succeed on a hit or a morale check or things like that.
She has a close combat weapon that has 2 attacks. But that's not what's important. What's important is her optic beams, which are at 18-inch range, 2 attacks, blast 3.
That's not even what's important. So blast 3 is a refresher.
Yeah.
Every time she hits, it turns into 3 hits.
Yes, it's glorious.
That's not even what's important. What's important is in her special rules column.
It's true. She has Diva Bombs.
Diva Bombs.
Because of course she does, because it's Diva Talks, and she bombs everything.
And we'll talk about the Diva Bombs in a second. Let's just run through all the rules.
She can teleport, which is nice, because she goes bamf, bamf, bamf around the table. She's tough 6, which is amazing, because it means that she needs 6 hits before she's, like, hurt.
Now, I did this because she's a boss classification in Heroes of the Grid. Everybody who's a boss classification has at least tough 6. Some of the really beefy ones have even more.
Yes. Viva la Diva, because, I mean, that, and she's a wizard.
All for 180 points.
For 180 points, which is nice.
Just like the other one-page rules, you have a page of the rules. And this one actually rolls over because there's so many different minions. And you'll see the blank spots here. I'm not done with this yet. It's work in progress. But we do have Diva Bombs. Whenever this unit moves over enemies, pick one of them and roll a die on a 2+. It takes 3 hits at AP 1.
Yes.
She drops a bomb on them.
Yes,
This is also where the teleport comes in. Units with this special rule may move through other units in passable terrain, and they may ignore terrain effects. This model moves 12 inches when using advance and 24 when rushing or charging.
Oh, yeah.
So she has the ability to go over somebody, and Viva la Diva, when this unit is activated, pick 2 enemy units within 12 inches. Those units must take a morale check. If they fail, they take 3 hits.
She's so glorious.
So, and she's a wizard because I made a lot of the bosses a wizard. We're probably going to see that's false in a second. But after Diva Talks, we jump into Goldar.
You and your weapons are no match for me.
I also think of Bonesaw from the first Samurai. Goldar is ready. Anyway, Goldar, you get 1 model in this unit. There's a couple things I'm going to delete probably. You'll notice that Diva Talks is not a hero. I'm probably going to delete hero status from Goldar. Bosses shouldn't be hiding in units of putties.
But it actually does kind of fit for Goldar. He frequently did hide in a unit of putties.
We'll figure out what to do there. Anyway, Goldar is a 3-2, quality 3, defense 2, with the Golden Blade.
Yeah.
6 attacks at AP 3.
Yeah.
Now, my concern with the Forces of Evil list is we may have made some of them too strong.
You've killed Goldar several times already.
Not with this rule set. This is a new set for Goldar. That was my older rules for Goldar in Skirmish.
Mm-hmm.
This is with a reconfigure to 1 wound Rangers, and we're going to play it. We're going to play it to see how it pans out. But I have some concerns we may have overpowered some of the bad guys, but we'll see as we play. The things I have to remind myself of in one-page rules, it's a 4-turn game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you're not necessarily going to be fighting in a combat on turn 1. That leaves about 3 turns of combat. So as opposed to something like a Warhammer 40k that's a 5 or potentially 6 or 7 turn game,
yes,
you only have 3 real close combat fighting turns in most one-page rules matches. So bigger hits make sense, but at the same time, we don't necessarily want to play a game where it becomes take nothing but bosses and then the Rangers get wiped out. And we won't have that issue in our house, but we want to help prevent that from happening in your house if you adopt our rules. But for right now, we're going to test it with Goldar at 6 attacks of AP 3, and he has his I-beams, 18-inch range, 1 attack, AP 1, it is Blast 3.
Yeah, so if it hits, it hits real bad.
And as a refresher, AP is every point of AP you have, it's -1 to your opponent's dice rolls on defense.
Mm-hmm.
He has Fear, Fearless, Hero, and Tough 9.
Oh, yeah.
I am debating giving him wings. He does have them on the model, so we'll probably give him some wings. But for right now, being 280 points, I figure we should test him before we decide whether or not he's going to get wings. Fear is he's going to get an additional D3 to determine who wins a combat.
Mm-hmm.
Fearless means he's going to take his morale checks at +1 quality. So he's going to be taking them on a 2+ instead of 3+. Hero means he can hide in units, tough 9, 9 hits, blah, 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 blah. King Mondo, no rules for it because he's not painted. I did make rules for our newest painted one, who is next, Bree.
Kaya!
Kaya, the Blue Omega Ranger.
Yes. So she's, like Goldar, a 3-2.
Fitting with the Ranger stats.
Which, yes, fits with the Rangers. She has the Omega Trident, which has 5 attacks and is rending.
So rending is when we roll an unmodified 6 to hit. You count as being AP4 and ignore the regeneration special rule.
Yep. So you can cut through some stuff.
Well, she has no built-in AP, but she has a chance to make AP so overwhelming.
Yeah. She has, this is a fun little take that I loved when Chris carried this, was Omega then, and then Omega never, Omega then, Omega never. You need a comma there.
I also need to take, well, you're pointing at the screen, nobody can see that.
Comma!
I need a comma in there, and actually I might switch the commas with semicolons. I'm actually probably replace a lot of the parentheses with brackets. There's a space after the slash there. There's a lot of little visual changes I need to make to this list.
Drinking and typing,
you're missing the point. She is tough 6 because she has Omega then, Omega never. Obviously, play on Omega now Omega forever.
Right.
So Omega then, Omega never, you would reference down here. And there actually are little cards you can print out for one-page rules that you can transfer each individual model's rules to, so you don't have to reference your pages. But Omega then, Omega never, where did my mouse go?
It's right there. Whenever this unit fights in a melee, pick one of these fighting styles. Either Omega then, she gets a +1 attack in melee, or Omega never, which is an AP +2 in melee.
So she can be a 5 attack AP 2.
Yes, she can.
If she takes, Omega never. So, again, she's a boss. She's meant to kick some serious butt. I did not make her a hero, again, for that reason. These bosses have elevated hit points. They have incredibly powerful attacks. I don't want necessarily them becoming invincible by hiding in a unit. Because in one-page rules, in one-page rules, before we get into the next one, you can take, like in a unit, you can take the entry twice and put them together. So you'll see later we have like Putty Patrollers at 6 models per. And if I leave Goldar as a hero, you could take 12 cheap putties. You take 2 units of 6, put them together, put Goldar in them, and now Goldar has effectively 21 wounds because you can allocate everything to the putties before Goldar, and I think that's probably a little over the top for the bosses. We'll get it. We'll deal with that more later. But next up is Lord Dracon himself.
Our son's favorite.
Quality 2. Defense 2. He has Saba. I may rename that to Corrupted Saba. 6 attacks, AP 2, rending, and his martial arts for just 4 extra attacks.
Because,
He has Fear, So plus D3 when determining who wins a fight.
Yeah.
Tough 9.
Oh, yeah, he's hurt.
And Power Drain. This represents his ability to steal other Rangers' powers. He is an absolute beast. Power Drain right here. When this hero is activated, pick 2 enemies within 6 and roll 1 die for each. On a 2+, they take 3 automatic hits. On a 6, they take 9 automatic hits.
Ouch!
Dracon comes in at a massive 315 points.
As he should.
Again, most games of this are going to be played at either probably like 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000 points. So he is a huge chunk, but he is not quite as big as the next entry. Bree, you can take my favorite villain.
Yes, Lord Zed.
You got your favorite villain. I got you got my favorite villain too. It's the Emperor of all he sees.
You gotta get my other favorite one down there too. So, yes. So he is a 3/2, not unlike a ranger.
No, I'm gonna throw that to you because I want the one below it. I continue.
Spoiler alert for those of you who may not have read some of the latest Power Rangers comics. Z Staff, which is 4 attacks AP2. Z Beams, which is an 18-inch 2 attack AP1 Blast 3.
So this guy's kind of a beast.
Yeah. He gonna hurt. He has Fear and Fearless, not unlike Goldar. And then he has Ruler of All I See, Tough 9, and Wizard 2.
So here's where the wizard thing falls apart a little bit. I have not written the wizard spells for the evil guys yet. I'll have them before we do our battle report, but I don't have any wizard spells to share with you guys right now. But I do have Ruler of All I See ready for you here. Ruler of All I See down at the bottom here. When this hero is activated, pick 2 friendly units within 12 inches, which get +1 in attack and melee the next time they fight. So Zed makes those around him better as well. As well he should.
Yes, he should, because mostly they don't want to turn around and get hit by him.
We're going to give Bree another one. We're going to skip Rito Repulsa Conqueror because I have not painted it.
Yeah, and she's a work in progress.
She will not be... I haven't even started her yet. She's not even a work in progress. You will not be using her in our battle report. You can use her in the house, not on film. On film, we want painted minis only for now.
Yes,
but you can go ahead and talk about Rito Repulsa Space Witch.
Space Witch! And love of Lord Zed's life.
Zed is 375 points.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is a beast. He is a beast.
And the dogs are so excited they're tap dancing over that.
Yeah. Then we get Rito Repulsa Space Witch. Space Witch. Now, she's, as you noticed, not as resilient as her husband and minion.
Or even her Conqueror version.
Because
I figured we had the 2 versions of Rita. One of them should be a badass fighter. One of them should be a more of a wizard.
Right. So she is a 4+ quality, 3+ defense. Her staff... Rita's staff is 3 attacks and AP1.
I thought about having Rita's cone bra as a weapon too, but
I mean, they are definitely a deadly weapon. And then Rita's staff as a ranged weapon, which is 24 inches, 2 attacks, AP2, and deadly 3.
So where Zed has potentially more hits, Rita does potentially more damage.
Yes, she
with
does.
She's deadly 3. If you recall from our previous video, or if you haven't read the one-page rules yet, each successful wound. So a wound would be you roll to hit, they roll to defend. If they fail, you do wounds. Each fail of somebody's defense basically does 3 damage to that model.
Yes, it does. And then she has Make My Monster Grow when she throws that staff. Tough 6 and Wizard 2. So that's super cool.
And she clocks in at only 190 points.
Yes,
so,
which is much nicer.
Whereas you might look at Zed and go, well, that's just better in every way. Well, yeah, he's also 375 points. Theoretically, in a decent point system, if you're not a wargamer, theoretically, your points determine your effectiveness. Theoretically, something with higher points should, if all things are equal, beat something with lower points.
Yes.
But all things are never equal because you're dealing with a swirling army. There's a lot of different things going on, a lot of things that build on each other. But she does have Make My Monster Grow. So Make My Monster Grow is right here.
When this unit is activated, pick 2 friendly units within 6 inches, and which get +1 to their melee rolls next time they fight.
So where Zed gets to pick 2 units and give them an extra attack, Rita picks 2 units and gives them +1 to hit. So something that hits on a 4 now hits on a 3, something that hits on a 5 now hits on a 4, and so on. Just kind of something thematic. Rito Revolto, another one of my favorite characters. I love this guy. I don't care if people are like, he's too goofy. He's fantastic in every way.
Rita's very special brother.
Rito Revolto, we made him a 3+3+ with a bone sword, 6 attacks at AP2. Seeing a trend in these bosses here. They're very powerful. He's got fear just like Goldar. He does not have fearless like Goldar does. Because
let's face it, we've seen Rito run away lots of times.
He has a flamethrower. He has toughness 6, and he has 165 points to purchase in your army. And flamethrower over here is once per round, models with this special rule may either deal 3 automatic hits with AP1 when fighting a melee or to 1 enemy unit within 12 inches when shooting. Astute viewers will notice that is actually the same as the Blazing Strike on Lauren Shiba, because I didn't make up a lot of these rules. As I mentioned before, I pulled them from different armies in one-page rules, and they have official one-page rules points attached to them to help make this as balanced as possible.
Right.
Because again, like we said in the last video, we want to make this so that you could drop a Forces of Evil army and play against somebody who's using their Warhammer 40k Space Marines as Battle Brothers or whatever. We want to make that option available. So we got Rito Revolto. We're going to go into Scorpina next. So Brie wants to take Scorpina.
We just got her all painted up. She is, interestingly, because, Chris is apparently mad at Scorpina about something.
It'll make sense.
She is a 3+ quality, 4+ defense.
Now, there is in the points kind of calculator, it does kind of give you some ideas of what a defense value should mean.
Right.
It kind of tells you what a quality value should mean too. And the reality is with what Scorpina is wearing, she doesn't justify much better than a 4+ defense on this stat line, but let's go through her rules.
So she gets a Scorpion Blade, which is 6 attacks, ouch, at AP2, and then the Scorpion Boomerang, which is 12 inches, 3 attacks. No AP on that, but that's still...
It's just kind of there for funsies.
Yeah, it's like she's taking off her version of the Sailor Moon's tiara and throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's got Fear, which, again, makes sense. Everybody who's part of that OG family probably should have Fear. Scorpion's Grace, and we'll see what that means. And then Tough 6, and she's only 145 points, which isn't bad.
So points-wise and attacks-wise, she's almost a poor man's Goldar.
Yeah.
Because Goldar was, 280, and he had AP 3, but 6 attacks. She still has 6 attacks. You drop an AP, but she's half the points.
Yes.
Scorpion's Grace really represents Scorpina's fighting ability, because Scorpion's Grace is whenever Scorpina is in melee, she gets +2 to her defense rolls.
Oh.
So Scorpina is defense 2 in melee, defense 4 at ranged.
There you go.
We're going to skip Thrax, skip the Wizard of Deception. I haven't painted them yet. Next up would come Babu. So we got Babu. We'll do Squat and Babu together, even though they're kind of out of order here.
Yeah.
So we've got Babu at a quality 4, defense 5. He's got his Dark Potions. They're 18-inch range, 4 attacks with poison. So every 6 he rolls to hit is actually going to be 3 hits. He's got 2 attacks with his claws. He's got Hide in the Shadows, Specialty Toxins, and Tough 3. He is 80 points. Hide in the Shadows, he is +2 to hit, -2 to the enemy's quality rolls when shooting at him.
Mm-hmm.
And his Specialty Toxins is at the start of the game, he gets to pick an enemy hero. And against that hero, he gains the Sniper rule, which makes him hit better. Hits on a higher quality. And he does Deadly 3 versus that hero.
Oh.
And then he's Tough 3. And we'll roll down Squat real quick because they kind of go hand in hand. Squat is right down here at the bottom, Brie, if you want to do Squat.
Squat is a 4+ quality, a 4 quality 5 defense. He has a boom gun. I think he's hanging out with Ash. 12 inches. 2 attacks, Deadly 3, which is nice.
Now, I forgot to give him a melee attack. He's probably going to get the same thing as Babu, probably just 2 basic attacks.
Right.
That should increase his points by probably 50 to 55. Everything is rounded off in 5s in this game system, if you hadn't noticed. So when I calculate, when I calculate his attacks, it's going to come out to probably just 2. So actually, he probably won't change points. He'll probably stay at 50 points.
And then he's also got Hide in the Shadows and Tough 3.
So Hide in the Shadows, same as Babu. I didn't give him anything else special. There were some options available, but I decided to not give him additional special rules because he is your discount monster choice.
Yeah.
You're near the end of building a list. You want to throw something else in. You don't have a lot of points left. You can grab Squat for 50 points and move on. So that'll be Squat and Babu. Now, a lot of these other monsters, here's where we're going to start to get into fun. So we'll do Black Dragon real quick. Black Dragon, Ranger stats, 3+, 2+. Dragon Claws, you'll notice now we're starting to get a little weaker in our attacks because we're not bosses anymore. Dragon Claws, 4 attacks, AP1 with rending. Dragon Tail, 1 attack, blast 6. If he hits you with it, you stay hit.
Yeah.
He is fast, so he moves 9 inches, can charge 18 inches versus 6 and 12. He's got fear, he's got fearless, he's got power drain, just like Lord Dracon does. And he has tough 3/6. That's where these 2 different points values come in. You may take a 3 wound version of Black Dragon for 140 points, or you may take a 6 wound version of Black Dragon for 210. That is a common trend on a lot of these monsters. Do you want to have a smaller list with bigger monsters, or do you want to have more monsters but they die easier? And because a lot of them aren't heroes, because monsters should explode in Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what they do.
Missy Ma'am, our little doggy is getting. We're past the point of it. You asking for attention. You're getting aggressive. No aggressive.
It's like, okay, I'll leave.
So we got Blaze coming up next, but Blaze doesn't have rules because I have not painted Blaze yet. But that does lead us into the Bone Man.
Oh, Bones. So he's a 3/3, which is very middle of the road, Good for some of those early monsters.
So 4/4 would be true middle of the road,
yeah.
But monsters deserve more than that.
He's got a Bone Sword. Bone Sword is ready.
Bone Sword.
4 attacks, AP1, which is nice. I-beams. I like that I-beams are relative constant attack.
I actually didn't put them on a number of monsters. Actually, I Googled almost every monster on the Ranger Wiki to see kind of what special powers I was forgetting about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how many of them have some kind of energy blast and how many of them can teleport. And I did not give that to all of them.
Because I
gave that to certain ones. Actually, spoiler, Bones is one of the ones with teleport because he was able to teleport the Rangers to that other dimension. So we gave him teleport.
Right. So his I-beams are, again, 12-inch. 2 attacks, blast 3. He's got fear, regeneration, which is super handy. He's stealthy. He has teleport, and he's, again, the tough 3/6 like Black Dragon. So you've got the version that's 125 points or the version that's 200 points.
And we've already seen fear and teleport. Stealth is -1 to hit with shooting. Regeneration gives you that extra 5+. If you fail your defense roll, you get to make a 5+ roll and it shrug damage off of that. Because Bones did have the ability to rebuild his skeleton until the head was destroyed as one of his powers.
Yes. But here's, and this, I even, from the show, I have an issue with the whole idea of a giant skeleton man
mm-hmm.
in a cape and top hat.
Mm-hmm. He's Pilgrim.
Is somehow stealthy. Like, nobody saw that coming towards them.
Correct. They did not.
That's like a cognitive dissonance thing. You're like, nope, that kind of thing doesn't exist.
I'm actually glad the next one falls on me. This was unintentional, but this is actually one of my favorite monsters.
That's true.
Commander Crayfish, 3+3+. Fake Power Sword, 3 attacks at AP2, and Massive Claws for 4 attacks. He has Fake Ranger Training, Fear, Hero, and Tough 3/6. So he's either 150 or 195 points. Fake Ranger Training is kind of where the money comes on this guy, though. If you recall, Commander Crayfish is the one that built the putties into the faux Rangers. Fake Ranger Training, the hero and his unit get +1 to hit rolls in melee and +1 to morale test rolls. So he can make a unit of putties into his fake Rangers.
Yep.
Or whatever follower you decide to put him in. We have a lot more to go here. We should probably pick up the crap here. Darkonda, not painted. Next.
Oh, how do you keep doing this?
Well, I'll skip through both of these real quick. Both Dino Thunder Black Robot and Dino Thunder White, I basically went in and lifted the Ranger rules from the Ranger list.
Right.
We did add stealth to Dino Thunder Black Robot because
he's got that ability to kind of
go invisible.
Yeah.
Dino Thunder in the skirmish game is going to have stealth himself. But basically, their weapons are the same. If you saw our other video, you've seen the stats on our options. 80 points, 70 points. We'll move right past them because there's not much else to say there. The only thing I might say is I might go ahead and buff up the White Ranger there because he only has 2 attacks. But he is a hero and he's cheap. So really, he's more of a put him in a unit, make the unit better sort of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's jump onto Ecliptor.
Ecliptor. Okay, so he is a 3/2, which is nice. He's got Ecliptor's Sword, which is 4 attacks, AP3.
So Ecliptor is not quite boss status.
No, but
he's also supposed to be like the Goldar of that season. So I let his sword be somewhat reminiscent of Goldar's.
Okay. He's got Eye Blasts, so 12 inches. These are only 1 attack, AP1, so he's a little less...
Just a little bit.
It's kind of mean to him. He has regeneration though, because remember he was made of crystals, and
he was also rebuilt into a cyborg at one point, so that's also why it's there.
And he, not unlike some of the other ones, has the two options of either being tough 3 or tough 6, which would give you either 100 points or 180 points respectively.
And that rolls us into Eye Guy.
Yes.
Eye Guy is a 3/4. So 4+ defense. He has 2 attacks in melee.
Because he's giant eyeballs walking around.
But he does have his eye blasters. Apparently they're 18 feet range because I hit the wrong button.
It just wipes out the whole table.
18 inches, 3 attacks, blast 6.
Yeah.
So he could potentially hit you 18 times if you hit with all of them. He has fear. He has fireball blast. He has regeneration, teleport, and tough 3/6. We've done all of these except Fireball Blast, so we'll just jump into Fireball Blast. This is to represent kind of that ability he had when the Rangers kind of like gang tackled him and he just blasted them all off of him.
Yeah.
And I forgot that happened until I Googled it. Fireball Blast. Once per round, models with this rule may either deal 3 automatic hits with AP1 when fighting a melee or 1 enemy within 12 with a shooting. You've seen that on Flamethrower from Rito. It's the same rule. I just renamed it something different. So there's multiple models with that same rule. That's mostly thematic for the different name. Just the only reason there. And look at that. The even up sends you right to...
You're doing this just so I do the Tommies.
Yes,
I see how it is.
The alphabet has helped me do this to you.
I think you timed it out.
Evil Green Ranger, there's really nothing to say here that we didn't talk about on the previous Green Ranger, except for we gave him a Sword of Darkness, which is basically the equivalent rules of Jason's Power Sword. So 4 attacks, AP3. 125 points. Just a good, solid combatant. There's nothing to say here. This one is a cool one. I see this one as the evil version of Santa, if you watched our last video.
Yeah. So Finster, he's a 6+6+. So he should not be in combat. Do not let him get into combat with anybody.
So hopefully he's a hero, because then he can hide in a unit.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler, he is.
He is. So he can create putties, which is awesome because it literally means he is out there generating putties once they've been wounded. Or can he actually do it?
We'll go to it.
Okay. He's a hero, so he can join a unit. Potentially with putties.
He needs to join a unit because you'll notice he has no tough value.
And he has no
Finster has 1 life point.
Yeah, he has no attacks. He is master of clay and unnatural enhancements, which is just...
And he has 355 points.
Now you would think to yourself, Christopher, why would you do that? He has his stats suck and he has no weapons. Why would we do that?
So he's 1 wound.
Yeah.
I can't stress this enough. I would advise you take the biggest foot soldier unit you can to put him in to keep him safe.
Yes.
Because he is a huge investment. I mean, he's more expensive than Dracon.
Yes, he is.
He has 1 wound. Let's see what he does. We have create putties.
So create putties means...
Did I not put it on here?
I think you meant to... Nope, you didn't put it on there.
I may have accidentally deleted it when I was deleting pumpkin wrappers and changing his. Anyway, I know what it is. I'll put it back on here for the version that goes online. Create putties is every time Finster activates, he gets to put a unit of 6 putties on the table.
Yeah, he does.
So that's where a lot of his points are coming from because he basically has to pay for all of those for the points of that special rule. So every time he activates, he's putting more putties on the table. I may modify that and give you the opportunity to do more than just regular putties in case you run out of models. Master of Clay. The hero and his unit get +2 to all of their defense rolls.
Lovely.
That's huge. That is huge.
And he's got
unnatural enhancements.
Yes.
The hero and his unit get +1 attack in melee.
It's a beautiful thing. He can make a unit of putties a truly terrifying thing to deal with.
That feels like a good moment to jump to the putties to give you a reference point.
Yes.
So let's jump down lower in the list here.
Let's look at the putties.
We've got Putty Patrollers. This is the one he gets to make for free. They come as 6 models to the unit. They are quality 5, defense 5. They have clay fists with 1 attack. There's not much fancy about them, but you're getting 6 models for 55 points.
Yes.
They have Clay Construct, and they have Furious.
Mm-hmm.
Furious is when they charge into combat, they each get +1 attack.
Yes, they do.
And Clay Construct, whenever this unit takes a morale check, it is passed automatically. Then roll as many dice as remaining models or tough in the unit, and for each result of 1 or 2, the unit takes a wound which cannot be regenerated. So they're never going to run away. They're just going to potentially die off as Clay Constructs. This is what Finster can create We'll go through all the other followers shortly. We will do the upgrades when it becomes appropriate because they are actually assigned to specific monsters. But you'll be putting 4 units of these guys on the table just with Finster being there.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 4 units of these guys plus Finster for that price tag of $355. Because you don't pay this $55 over and over again when you put new units on the table. That's not how it works. So if you put Finster in this unit, for example, say you took 2 of these, that'd be 12 together. You could have them at quality 5, defense 3, 2 attacks each when they're paired up with Finster.
Yep.
So pretty good. General Vengeance, not painted yet. Skip over him. Heximus. 3+3+. Christmas Tree Lance, tax 4, AP 2. Evil Elf Potions, Fear, and Tough 3/6. The Evil Elf Potions. When this hero is activated, pick 2 enemies within 12 inches, and they each get -1 to their next morale check.
Ooh.
We'll kind of keep moving on there because we don't want to slash
King Sphinx is in painted
not
white.
painted.
You've been avoiding him, by the way.
Because I want to do right by him. He's one of my favorite monsters.
So then we get Nasty Knight, one of the early monsters you've painted.
Also one of the earliest villains. I
Yeah.
think I painted Pudgy Pig first, and that was before we made videos.
Yes.
But Nasty Knight came pretty early.
Pretty early in the group. He is 3/3, so, once again, for monsters, pretty right there. He has the Nasty Sword. That's not okay. Which is A4, AP1. So it's, the 4 attacks at AP1. He has Furious, which is the charge ability again, right? Yep. And then he has the Nasty Shield.
And he's a tough 3/6.
And he's a tough 3/6.
Now look at his tough 3. He's cheap.
He's cheap.
He can be cheap. He's still cheap at tough 6.
Yeah.
But he's cheap at, it's a good way to get something relatively inexpensive in your army fighting for you. Mm-hmm. The Nasty Shield. Oh, that's nasty.
That's nasty.
When this model fights in melee, pick one of the following stances and apply the bonus. Strike for +1 to hit, Destroy for AP +1, or Parry for defense +1. So he's very, very versatile.
Yes, he is.
So after Nasty Knight, we have Madame Woe. 3+4+. She has 2 Raking Claws, which are 2 attacks each and rending, so she has 4 rending attacks. The Woeful Braids, 12-inch range attack, 2 attacks with rending as well.
Yes.
And she is a Spectral Witch, who is also tough 3, and she's also relatively
She's not a witch,
cheap.
she's a dwarf. She's not sure if she wants to be that anymore.
I heard a really inappropriate joke. You want an appropriate joke? Spectral Witch counts as having a Strider rule, which means you can pass over difficult terrain with no penalty, and has regeneration against any non-spell attack.
Yes. Don't forget that rule.
Yes, you
when
did.
You're playing
You
her.
did in our skirmish game, and that was bad for you. That proved important.
It did.
Brie, I'm sorry.
How? How does this keep happening?
The Nego White Ranger. This is not really a villain from the show, but I painted my second White Ranger in negative colors, and I just thought it'd be cool if we made him a villain.
Yeah.
He's exactly the same as the White Ranger from the Power Rangers
Except
list.
that now he has negative white light.
Yes, so I think it's the same rule, too.
I don't think you changed it at all.
Primator Piranha had not painted. Primator.
Yes. Blah, 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 blah. Primator, 3+3+. He has brute strength. So obviously that's going to be a melee attack. 4 attacks, AP1.
I don't think I've ever said this. When you're playing one-page rules, if you do not see a distance on an attack, it's a melee.
It's a melee. So you got to get up in their face to use it. Fear, which is good. Lightning bolts. Lightning from his hands. He's stealthy. Again, How? Big blue monkey.
He can change shapes, remember?
Yeah, it's still a giant blue monkey.
Not when he changes shapes. He can turn into the Rangers. Don't you remember that?
Oh, that's right.
And then when he looks at his reflection, that's when he starts losing his power.
Yeah.
And his art's on the side of the Kickstarter box. It looks awesome. It's right there.
Yeah.
You see it in the room where he's stuck between the red and the green Ranger. That's an awesome mode. I kind of want to paint a Green Ranger fig that way.
And then he is tough 3/6. So 110, 165 points. He's a little bit more expensive in the realm of the low-end monsters.
His lightning bolt is exactly the same. Excuse me.
Oh, excuse you.
It's exactly the same as the Eye Blast and exactly the same as Rito's Flamethrower. It just seemed like an appropriate ability for him based off of some of the abilities he has.
Yep.
So moving on past Primator, Gasket and Archerina are painted. I just haven't written rules for them yet, so we can't discuss them today.
We've been having discussions about them.
Sorry, you're doing Pudgy Pig because I got to do the next one.
Oh yeah, no, that's all you. Okay, Pudgy Pig, who is a 4/2. Now, I figured
he's not a great fighter.
Yeah, he's not a great fighter.
But he's a giant pig monster.
So it's going to be hard to hit him. As anybody who has
hard to hurt him.
As anybody who has played the game knows, is probably the number one reason when Pudgy Pig hits the board, you go, why?
In his original cards.
Right.
I actually prefer his original to it. We played his revised, and it wasn't
as fun.
It wasn't hard at all.
No,
like we
killed him in a hot minute.
We complained every time the original Ravenous Hunger showed up, but when we took it out,
the worst card.
When we took it out into the replacement card, we're like, this isn't fun.
He wasn't as much fun.
Anyway,
but Ravenous Hunger.
Continue. Different game.
Different game. I mean, but not.
Yeah.
So he has giant cutlery, which is 6 attacks, one for each prong.
That might be over the top. We'll find out.
AP2. He can devour. He has fear and fearless, and he is a tough 3/6 at 120 or 175 points.
So devour. Oh, that's not in alphabetical order.
That is not.
We'll deal with that later.
And I don't think you have devour on there anymore.
Did I take devour off?
Yes, you did.
I must have deleted it by accident.
Yep.
So he can devour things.
Yeah, he can.
I got to pull up the exact rule again, guys. But basically, as he does damage, he gets devour tokens, and he can use those to prevent damage to himself later. Pumpkin Rapper.
Oh God. Chris loves him so much.
Pumpkin Rapper's the best. 3 quality, 4 defense. Vine Whip, 3 attacks, blast 3, so up to 6 potential melee attack, or 9 potential melee hits.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin Bombs, 12-inch AP2, A2. Fear, tough 3/6. Not much going on there for him.
I mean, not much going on at all.
Well, here's where it links in. Putty Patrollers.
Yeah.
Upgrade slot C.
Yeah.
If Pumpkin Rapper is in your army, 1 unit of Putty Patrollers may upgrade to be Pumpkin Putties. They get +1 attack and regeneration for 40 points on the unit. And that's 40 points per unit. So if you do that thing where you take 2 units of 6 and make them 1 big unit, you're paying 80 points total for that upgrade. I think it's worthwhile. Extra attack, regeneration.
We're going to get tiny pumpkins. And so
we have tiny pumpkins. I have tiny pumpkins around.
We should core out the head.
This is another reason I want another core box. I have a core box. I have so many things I can cannibalize out of it because I have a plan for the Red Ranger already. I want to make a Dragon Seal Black Ranger. I do have an extra Green Ranger shield already. I want to make a Metallic Armor Billy. I want to make at least half the putties into pumpkin putties. I want to make at least half of them into football putties. I have so many uses.
We could probably do it modularly for that.
You know what? Shut up. Shut up.
Okay.
I hate you.
I love you.
I don't like
You're the best.
I quit.
I'm taking Ranger Slayer.
Ranger Slayer.
She is a 3/2 because she is a ranger. You hush. She's got the Dark Power Bow, which is 24-inch, 3 attack AP2 range shot there. And she has a Sword of Darkness because Dracon didn't want to carry it.
Because the Dark Power Bow is actually made out of the Sword of Darkness.
Mm-hmm. Which is 4 attacks, AP3. She is a hero. She has Quick Shot, which means she can run and shoot.
I might take the hero away from her just because she's got such high defense and such a dangerous shooter. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And she's tough 3. So she's 110 points.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's a worthwhile 110 points.
Oh yeah, and all of that.
Rhino Blaster, love this guy too. Quality 4, 2 attacks, 2 defense. Savage Blade, 3 attacks, AP2, and his Lightning Horn, 12-inch range, 1 attack, blast 3. He's a hero with Impact 4.
Oof.
And Voracious.
Ooh, what's Voracious?
So Voracious is him and his unit all gain Impact 1. So really, he actually has Impact 5. That means Rhino Blaster charges you. You take an automatic 5 hits. There's no AP attached to them, but you take an automatic 5 hits. And the Voracious gives his unit the impact as well, which makes a big difference. He also is attached to a Putty bonus. He is actually attached to Putty Upgrade D. Putty Upgrade D. If Rhino Blaster is part of this unit, it may upgrade to be Football Putties. 10 points for the unit. They get +1 defense. They go to defense 4. Don't hate. Robogoat.
He's a 3/3. Quality 3. Defense 3. He has the Rod of Destruction, which is 4 attacks, AP2. Lightning Blast, 18-inch, 2 attack, blast 3. Seen pretty much the same. He has Impact 1.
I want to remind you all before Bree finishes that this list is a work in progress.
Yes. He has Impact 1 and Tough 3/6 with no points.
This is a work in progress. Apparently, I forgot to calculate him. I will fix that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Roxy, I have not painted yet. There's actually some other monsters that I haven't even put their names on this list yet. I was just kind of starting to put them. I put them in alphabetical order when I do this, so I was just kind of filling stuff in. Yeah. Squat, we talked about. Terror Toad. Quality 3, Defense 2, Claws, 3 attacks AP 1, Long Tongue, 1 attack AP 1 with Blast 3, and Energy Horn, 18-inch range, 3 attacks AP 1. If you recall, that was his weakness.
Yes.
He also has Devour, Fear Hero, and Tough 3, or 6.
So you could put him and Pudgy Pig out there together, and they are just
Eating everybody.
eating your whole army.
I'm going to do this next one because this next one's a fun one.
Yep.
It's just a monster mob. It's not really a fun one, but I just want to explain kind of what it is.
So you can take any of your monsters you like.
Any monster figs.
And just throw them into a generic thing.
Take 3 of them, because it's 3 per unit, or 6 if you do a double-sized.
There you go.
Take 3 of them, you put them together. And on a note on the double-sized thing, you can take more than 2 of the same unit in an army, just not more 2 of the same unit deployed together.
Right.
So you could take 4 monster mobs as 3 monsters, 3 monsters, 3 monsters, 3 monsters, or
2 and
you
2.
do them as 6 monsters, or 6 monsters, 3 monsters, 3 monsters, but you couldn't do one group of 12. So they're just 3+3+, varied weapons, 3 attacks each, AP 1, Fear, Fearless, and Tough 3, 270 points. Why is this here? Because most of the monsters aren't heroes, and if you just want to band a bunch of them together and have them run around. Yeah, we've seen it before.
Yeah.
We've seen it. Rito used them to destroy the Thunder Zords. There were a couple episodes in seasons 2 and 3 of Mighty Morphin where multiple old monster costumes were drawn out of mothballs, and they showed up, but they didn't really have any of their powers. They just came and fought the Rangers.
They did it just recently in because that's kind of how Zed came back. They brought back.
No, that was very different.
Well, I thought that they had a couple other monsters that had those collars on. And...
not the same way it played out.
Oh, okay.
It didn't quite play out the same. But it's not terribly wrong to throw multiple monsters together. But this is take any monster you want, put them together, you got a unit. Psycho Rangers.
Oh, Psycho Rangers.
They have the exact same stat line as a Ranger team.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can take upgrades A and B. Upgrade A, team leader. Same as it is on the Ranger team.
It's upgrade C.
I haven't changed the letters yet. There's upgrade C here too. It's a work in progress list. I hate you so much. Their power weapon selections are basically the Space Ranger selections.
Yep.
Apparently, I did not put in the green Psycho Ranger for reasons.
And you were angry at
Work in progress list. We got to start testing some of this before I really fix things.
No,
but this is yes.
Don't even
we
give
gotta test
me
things before I can fix them.
Don't give me that.
We gotta test things
Do you
before I can fix
see
them.
how much you have just absolutely pontificated and waxed poetic over the Ranger list?
I pontificated and waxed poetic over this one. This one, believe it or not, is a harder list to write.
I'm sure it is.
The Ranger list was a matter of figuring out what power weapons they should have. This one has been genuinely hard. I've spent just as much time, and I'm nowhere near done with this one. So we need to start testing to see how it works, to see what to change. We talked about putties, super putty patrollers. So we're into foot soldiers now. These are going to be squads of 6. Why are they squads of 6? Because I've noticed that in the Renegade game stuff, you get them in groups of 6, or you get them in groups of like 12, 18, stuff like that. When you buy the game pieces.
Yep.
So why not let you use them in even numbers? I thought about doing units of 5 at first, and then I was like, well, if you took 5, you got leftover putties. But if you take multiples of 6, you're where you should be.
Yeah.
Super putty patrollers.
Super putties.
Oh, breeze on. I'm in. 6 models. 5+5+. Hardened clay fists. 1 attack at AP 2. They are clay constructs and come with regeneration in honor of the first episode they show up in.
Yes.
95 points for all 6.
All right.
One damage each, obviously, because they're not tough.
Yeah. Then you have Z putties, which, as you guys remember, are the guys with the little Z's on them that if you hit them with the Z, magically they all pop apart.
And to everybody out there who made fun of Zed's Z's on his Z putties, and why would you make their weak point so prominent? I would challenge you and say you've probably never been in a real fight.
Yes, because trying to hit somebody in the chest.
It's surprisingly hard to hit somebody dead center on the chest. Because you see them get hit in the Z constantly in those fights. It's only when they hit dead center that the putty actually breaks apart.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly hard to hit somebody dead center during a fight.
Especially if they don't want you to.
Especially if there's more of them than you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they're, defense 5, quality 5. Cool. They have Z fists, which is 2 attack each.
I am thinking about making them defense 4, but I haven't decided yet, just because it's so hard to hit.
Clay constructs, again, and they are first among putties.
First among putties. For 70 points for all 6 of them. First among putties is whenever this unit fights in melee, pick a fighting style. +1 attack or +2 AP.
Yes.
Tango Warriors. These are not fully painted.
No.
They're work in progress.
Chris has just been he keeps looking at them and going, I should.
Well, no, every time I go to start on them, like I have another video to make, and I'm like, I gotta switch gears to the model I'm painting for the video. My schedule is getting pretty intense. I just need some time to catch up on videos. Tango Warriors, 5+5+, Raking Claws, 3 attacks with Rending. They ambush so they can pop in on the table. They are fast, so they're movement 9, run charge 18, and they can fly, which means they can go right over your butt. They're expensive, 145, but that's for 6 models.
Yeah. Then you get the Mastodon Troopers.
This should actually read Mastodon Sentries.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. They're 4/4, which is interesting that you did not give them Ranger stats, but I guess Ranger stats are pretty broken.
They don't deserve Ranger stats. They're not true Rangers.
That's true. They're the diluted.
The Sentries each get a small portion of
Black Ranger's powers. They have energy rifles, which are 24-inch attack. 1 attack AP1, and then for their melee they have martial arts A2, and they have advanced rifle training.
Now their martial arts may change only because I wrote these rules before I did the newest Ranger stats, and the newest Rangers come with 1 attack each, so this might change, but we'll see. And they come with.
I said it right. Advanced rifle training, and for 145 points.
Now,
so
advanced rifle training. Whenever this unit shoots, pick a shooting style. Aim +2 to hit, or volley +1 attack. So they can either have 2 attacks at AP1 but hitting on 4s, or 1 attack at AP1 but hitting on 2s. Quantrons are next. These are painted. Quantrons, you get 6 in a unit. Quality 5, defense 4. Q-Blades, 1 attack, AP2. And the Q-Blade Energy Blast, 18-inch, 1 attack. And they have Q-Shields at 115 points.
I noticed that there's a theme with them.
The Q-Shields, enemy units get -1 to their melee rolls from fighting them.
Oof.
So they're a good attacking unit.
Yes.
Tronics are not painted, so we'll skip over them even though they have rules. Mega Goldar's not painted, but we're not going to skip over Mega Goldar.
Because he's Mega Goldar.
Well, the reason Mega Goldar has rules is I was kind of writing Cyclopsis and the Megazord hand in hand, and I'm like, well, there's one other big model. Let's just go ahead and figure it out.
One big blue monkey. So he is quality 4, so it's harder for him to hit you. But he is a 2+, which means it's very hard for you to hit him.
No, hard to land a hit. Yeah.
He has the Golden Blade, which is 12 attacks.
He's a sword.
AP3. So many dice. So many dice to roll. And then he has I-beams again, which are 18 inches, 2 attacks, AP1, blast 3. And he's just fearless and a tough 18.
Yeah, because he's a sword.
You gotta hit him 18 times.
Now he has an upgrade E. We'll get to that because it's actually the same as upgrade F.
And he is 445 points worth of smack you in the face.
Now, Cyclopsis is painted if you wanted to use it.
Yes, he is.
Up to you, but maybe not in our first game.
I guess.
But we'll see what happens.
I have so many other monsters to use. I'm good.
Quality 4, defense 2. 2 arm blades at 9 attacks each with AP1. So he has 18 attacks at AP1. And his shoulder missiles, 18-inch range, 4 attacks, AP1, blast 3.
That's a glorious thing.
Fearless, and tough 18 as well. 460 points. The E and F upgrade slots, Mega Gold Power and Warzord.
Warzord.
I'm gonna spoil this. These are the same rules. These are also the same as Megazord Power. Mega Gold Power. This model gets +1 to attack rolls for melee and shooting, so you can make him a 3+ to hit. Cyclopsis 2, Warzord is the same thing. You can make him a 3+ to hit. And that actually wraps up our work in progress Forces of Evil list.
They're evil.
For our Power Rangers Age of the Grid game supplement? Game list? Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this will be coming up very shortly in a battle report, hopefully coming out sometime next week is the plan.
Yep.
And going to be exciting because we're going to see, if you watched our skirmish battle reports, those are a lot of fun, but this one is going to be armies. It's going to be a bigger table. It's going to be more terrain. It's going to be
You have to clean off the table.
It's going to be very colorful.
Yes, it will.
It's going to be very colorful.
Yes. There will be the pictures will be glorious.
So if you are a veteran wargamer, well, you probably haven't watched this video all the way through to the end unless you're a Power Ranger fan. But if you're a wargamer and you like battle reports, it's going to be a treat. If you're a Ranger fan and you are interested in wargaming, it's going to be a treat. If you're a Ranger Heroes of the Grid fan and you're not interested in wargamer, it's still going to be a treat because it's going to be just chaotic and hectic, and I hope these rules work. I hope it's not a complete bust where we go, back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
But
That's not great.
we'll find out when it happens. Like and subscribe for more content. Hit that bell button for notifications. Leave a comment. They really do help. Check out High Voltage Wear on Etsy. That's HI Voltage WARE. That's Breeze upscaled or recycled or side cycled or hardware, electronic jewelry. Check it out for yourself or your significant others. They're really cool pieces. Bree is actually wearing one right now.
Yes, I am. And it's upcycled and recycled hardware and electronics jewelry using knickknacks and other things found in reclamation kind of processes.
That is
which is also going to now be on the TikToks.
That is way too much of a mouthful. What's the username on TikTok?
It's High Voltage Wear.
High Voltage Wear with HI and WARE at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell button for notification. I'm done talking to you all, so bye.
Bye!